Do you watch The Bear? Have you seen season 2? I was blown away because there were some clear business lessons that almost every business person makes, that I have made in the past, that if you avoid them, you can outlast your competitors. Most businesses fail within 5 years, right? You've heard these statistics. All those businesses usually die for one of these 4 reasons. So I want to go one by one through them and how we are learning from past mistakes to grow and to outlast our competitors. First mistake that Carmy made was a lack of focus. It's the hardest thing for creatives to do. I know. You have so many ideas. Season 2, The Bear. Carmy is getting the bear going, and he's doing this, but then what happens? Claire comes into the situation. Now, I'm not saying you can't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever you're into, and I'm not saying you can't have other things in your life, but you will see in that season that the more time he spends with Claire, he starts to see that he missed things. Little details he should have been paying attention to because his focus was divided between the restaurant and his new relationship. It's the hard thing for creatives to do, but you must focus on one thing to get really, really good at. When you're starting your business, especially in the first year, I don't know any other way to tell you this. You've got to focus, which means you got to say no to other things in your life. I'm currently making this podcast on a Sunday afternoon in my office when I could be doing a million other things. But I have to say no to those things because I want to make this podcast and I want to build my film company. And there is only so much time. Focus is the hard thing. It is everything. If you focus and your competitors don't focus as much, by definition, you will probably outlast them. Lesson number 2, partnering. Now, you might be saying to yourself, if you know the show, well, yeah, Carmy has Sydney and he has Sugar and he has Richie and he has shut the f up, all these other people around him that he's partnering with to get the bear open. But you'll notice during the season, not only is his focus scattered and his focus is taken away from the business, he also requires that all final decisions go through him.
Whoa, why is this on the left side?
Contractor who's left-handed.
Why didn't you tell him to put it on the right side?
Because you're the one who asked for final approvals over all equipments, Chef.
And because all final decisions have to go through him and his focus is divided, it means decisions didn't get made. Important stuff didn't get moved forward because he didn't trust his partners. This is also a hard one for creatives because a lot of creatives, a lot of artistic type people are loners. You like to sit in your studio alone and you like to make your art form alone, and that's when you do your best work. I'm not disagreeing, but what I'm saying, if you want to make a business out of that art form, you have to partner with other people. What true partnering means is that you can take whole pieces of your business and give them to someone else. So Carmy has these partners, these available people around who want to help.
Shut the f up, Richard.
Sid is a great partner. She wants to help. She has total expertise, but he doesn't turn these final decisions over to her. Therefore, things get messed up. My main business partner is Courtney. She does all of our cinematography. She handles our gear. She does a lot of our editing. I turn whole chunks of this business over to her that I know nothing about. Honestly, I don't know how to turn the cameras on. I don't know about whatever gear she's got going on. I don't know about softwares. And so if you don't trust your partners, even if you have them, if you don't let work go over to them that you don't have to do, you don't have to make decisions, you just let them handle it, you're not really partnering. I know it's scary, and I know the first time you partner with somebody and you give them something to do, a task in your business, and it doesn't go exactly the way you want it to, your natural reaction is to pull it back. Nope, pull it back. Sorry, I'm doing that. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. No, this is part of growing a business. You then have to talk to that partner and say, okay, this is not working. We need to do this better. They need to be able to tell you the same thing. And most of your competitors are never going to get over that hump. So you're going to outlast them if you partner well. The third lesson is responsibility, and it goes hand in hand with partnering. But what did Carmy do in season 2? He didn't realize until the very end that he had made these mistakes. Now, luckily, he admitted it, and he realized, and he says, I should have taken more responsibility. This is my fault. You are the business owner. are ultimately responsible. Here's the secret about this, is that when you take full responsibility, it actually feels good even when you have to deal with bad situations. Lots of business owners, when things don't work out, they start to blame other people. Oh, well, if I only had a better partner. Oh, if I'd only had better software. Oh, if I only had better clients. Oh, if I only had more time. Oh, if you've heard it. You've probably said it. I've said these things. But that's not being responsible. Being responsible means I own this business. I started this business. That means I have to figure out the problems in this business. But here's the good thing. If you also partner, you can take some of those problems and your partners can help you with that. And then you can manage at a higher level, because a lot of those competitors are going to blame their software or their time management or their whatever it is. And if you just take responsibility, jump into your problems and start to solve them instead of whining about them, you're going to outlast your competitors. The fourth lesson is cash flow. Carmy goes out and borrows a bunch of money from Uncle Jimmy. The entire season through the bear, Carmy is scared to death because he owes this money and he knows if this restaurant doesn't open and it's not successful, Uncle Jimmy's going to take the restaurant and sell the building right out from under him. The whole thing will come crashing down. Now, that makes for a good drama series and it makes for very good TV, but it doesn't make for really good business in the real world. Cash flow is money you have available to run your business in the short term. We recently had a client in California and we had to fly from Florida to California. We had to ship gear. There's all these things we had to do up front. Our client gave us a deposit on that project, but they didn't pay us for the whole project. So we had to have the cash flow to buy plane tickets, to rent a lens that we needed, and to do other things that we needed to have happen. We needed that cash in the bank. If, for instance, I have a sub, if I hire a photographer onto a job, or I hire a second editor on a big job, and they do their edits, they will give me their edits back. I'll put it into that project, but we still have to go through rounds of stuff with the client. And so even if that particular sub is done with his or her work, I have to pay them. And I can't say, oh, I have to wait until my client pays me and then I'll pay you. That is not grown-up business stuff. No, you have to have certain cash flow in your business to pay things out while you're waiting on more revenue to come in. The general rule of thumb, if you can build it up, is to have at least 6 months of cash flow. If you had to pay all of your bills and have no new business for 6 months, could you do it? If the answer is no, that's okay, but you need to slowly build that up. Because when you get a certain amount of cash flow up and you can let things flow through and you can pay bills ahead of time until your clients pay you, you won't believe the peace of mind you will have after you build up that cash. If you have to take out loans to start your business or get startup costs, okay, I understand, but I would much rather build slowly over time and pay for everything in cash and to minimize your debt. You start paying debt in a business, that's the moment you start not sleeping well at night. You will do your business from a position of fear, and that is not a good creative place to be in. You want to be relaxed. You want to be joyous about your work. You want to be inspired. And the only way to do that is to have enough money in the bank so bills are paid while you're trying to do business. Once you get these lessons down and you start to practice them, I think you're going to feel better. You're also going to build the foundation for a longer lasting company. So watch this video that's on the screen right now, and you can learn how to use the word no by focusing down to get better clients, make more money, and do fewer projects so you can let your creative wings fly. You can do it. I love you.